Hey everyone, welcome to the 48th, that's right, we are 2 away now from the 50th Animated Girls Profile Confidential, but welcome to Animated Girl Profiles Confidential 48. As you see down below, we are talking about Blaze the Cat. Blaze the Cat from the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise. We don't know if Blaze is going to be in the upcoming Sonic Forces game. I would assume she might be, but we'll have to wait and see. That sounds like it could be the potential to bring the freedom fighters into power, and I'll talk about that in a later audio video. Or not into power, but onto the scene, if you catch my drift. But again, I'll talk about that later. But here I want to talk about Blaze the Cat. And Blaze originally debuted in the Nintendo DS game Sonic Rush. That was her initial debut. Now Blaze has been a part of many Sonic titles, video game-wise, throughout her run. She was, of course, part of Sonic Rush 2. She was part of, I think, Sonic Chronicles, maybe not, I'm not really sure. She was part of the 2006 Sonic the Hedgehog game, which was Silver's debut. She's been part of many of the Mario and Sonic Olympic games. So, you know, she's been a part of many. I mean, like I said, she was part of those. She was, I think. I'm trying to think. I know, like I said, I know she was in. I think she was part of Sonic Colors, maybe. Lost World, I'm not really sure. But like I said, I know she was part of. I think she might have been in Colors, perhaps. I'm not really sure. I don't know if they got any plans for her to be in Boom in any capacity. But yeah, Blaze has. Blaze has been around since, I think, the mid 2000s, and she's been going on for about 12 years now. So yeah, in those 12 years, she's had her share of appearances in games. There's no doubt about it. She even appears, as a matter of fact, now I think in Sonic Generations. She does appear in Sonic Generations, so she's part of that. But basically, she appears in a mini game where you have to, basically the storyline, in case you don't know, all the friends, all the allies are captured by this time monster that, spoiler, Robotnik somehow gets control of. And basically, they're all frozen up like statues. And they're kind of frozen in time, and only Sonic, depending on which version of Sonic you use, has to beat the level and free them. So she is one of them. She's, I think, the third or fourth one. I'm not really sure. And every time you free a character, they become like a guide for you. Or they become a guide for you in a minigame or something. But anyway, or they become playable in a minigame. But anyway, Blaze was in that. So yeah, she's been in her share of video games, no doubt. And of course, she's made appearances in the Archie Sonic comic book. Blaze appeared, I can't remember what issue it was, but it was a backstory that was sort of loosely adapted her debut in Sonic Rush. And she's been on and off in the comic ever since. You know, she's been a part of some major stories, some major stories in the Sonic Universe spin-off. She's had her fair share, and for a lot of fans, you know, to see her in the comics and interacting, not just with Sonic and Amy and Knuckles and Tails, but to interact with Sally and Antoine and Bunny and all of them, those are just tremendous moments for the fans, because this, you know, to see her interact with those characters is just phenomenal in many people's eyes. It's just a phenomenal feat. Now, here's the thing though. As far as Blaze's appearance in the comics, there have been some people that have felt that Blaze has been used as a punching bag, sometimes depending on her appearance. Basically, you know, Blaze could be the main character, or supposedly supposed to be the main character in some of the story arcs in the Sonic Universe comic that focus on her and other characters with her. But according to some, she always ends up becoming a punching bag. In other words, she's like one of the first to be captured, or defeated easily, and yet she's supposed to be this princess, because yes, she's a princess from what's known as the soul dimension. She's supposed to be a princess with this unbelievable power, and her power is that of fire, which is why she's called Blaze. She can control fire. She has control over the element of fire. Now, basically what Blaze is in the soul dimension, which is another world, is she's basically that dimension, that world's equivalent of Sonic. And the reason I say this is because if you play Sonic Rush, she, like Sonic, is able to go super. She becomes Burning Blaze. And you see this incorporated in her appearance in the comics as well. Now, one of the things that Sega seems to have added to her character, either on purpose or unintentionally, is her relationship with other characters. Some people look at Blaze when she first appeared and they figured, well, they're probably going to flirt her and Sonic together, kind of have a little bit of semi-attraction, like attraction between the two. And that's exactly what happens as far as the game is concerned, that you kind of notice that there's that little bit of an uneasiness at first, but over that uneasiness at first, that untrustfulness at first, but yet that turns into respect, that turns into friendship. And as we see in the Rush, and we see, I think, even in Generations, and we even see, I think, in the Wii exclusive titles like Sonic and the Lost Night or something. I think that's what it's called, Lost Night or something like that, or Sonic and the Last Night or something like that, where Blaze is portrayed as Sir Lancelot, which is one of the Knights of the Round Table, which is kind of weird. There's a moment where Sonic rescues her from falling off a cliff, and you kind of see this moment where she kind of blushes a little bit. And that basically, I guess, an unintentional, maybe purposely or sometimes maybe unintentional way of saying, hey, there is something between these two characters you may not know that is more than just friendship or respect. Now, that's still there and everything, as far as the games and even the comics go. But then you also add in the fact that when Silver gets introduced in Sonic 2006, that basically from there you get sort of an indication that Blaze and Silver are an item as well. So, and that becomes a more popular item. That basically becomes the equivalent of Shadow and Rouge, in a sense. So, or Knuckles and Rouge, mostly Shadow and Rouge. That's what Blaze's relationship or interactions with Silver in Sonic 2006 equivalent to. Now, another thing that Sega did when they brought her in is they kind of paired her up with Cream. Yeah, Cream the Rabbit, who's the youngest member of the Freedom Fighters in the comics, gets paired up with Blaze. Blaze basically gets paired up with her, and them being together as sort of a team is the equivalent of Sonic and Tails. Now, you might say, well, she does have another sidekick, doesn't she? Yes, she does. You see, in the Soul Dimension, she has a friend named Marina Raccoon, who's sort of absent-minded, thinks she's the captain, sort of scatterbrained, absent-minded, kind of thinks she's the captain of a ship, of a pirate ship and all that, or whatever. And Marina is kind of the equivalent of Tails to Blaze. So Blaze and Marina are like the Sonic and Tails of the Soul Dimension, but when Blaze comes to Sonic's world, it seems that they paired her up with Cream and thus made Cream and Blaze like Sonic and Tails in Sonic's world. So that sounds a little confusing. But that's what Sega kind of did. Either it was intentional or unintentional, that's what they did. And then when it comes to the comics, they do pair her up with Cream, but they also pair her up mostly with Cream and Amy, because in the comics, they try to make Amy and Cream the female equivalent of Sonic and Tails. And they do this in the games as well, but mostly in the comics. And there are times that she does team up with them, that's known as Team Rose or Team Blaze. And they have had interaction with other characters, like with Team Dark. Overall, Blaze's character is, I have to say, it is a pretty badass character. I mean, I'll be honest with you, when I heard she was being introduced, and I saw the trailers and the clips for her, I was like, I mean, the trailers and the clips for her and everybody talking about it, I was like, man, this character looks pretty badass. And sure enough, that's exactly what she turned out to be. I mean, I became such a fan that I ended up buying a Blaze plush, a Blaze the Cat plush off Amazon. So, excuse me. But yeah, you know, Blaze to me is a pretty damn good character that they created. True, they could do a lot more with her, and I'm pretty sure they're going to. Again, we don't know if she'll be in Sonic Forces. I'll talk about that later. But I think Blaze is a good... I think Sega did a decent job with Blaze. I really do. I mean, just when you think they can't get any better than introducing a character like Rouge the Bat into the equation, they take it a step further. They end up outdoing themselves and bringing Blaze to the forefront. So, I don't think I can say anything more. I don't think I can say any more than that about Blaze's character in the comic. I really don't think I can. So, or even in the games and in the franchise as a whole. And hopefully, you know, they do a lot more with her in the future. You know, maybe will we see her on the Sonic Boom cartoon? We don't know. We've seen Silver, we've seen Shadow, we've not seen Blaze yet. Will we see her? Hard to say. But overall, Blaze to me is a pretty badass character when they give her the potential to be so in the games as well as in the comics. And we'll just have to wait and see what they do with her next. But that will do it for my 48th edition of the Animated Girls Profile Confidential, talking about Blaze the Cat. We are now 2 away from 50. And I will talk to y'all later. God bless. Take care. I'm out.